I just heard her talking. So I just went around the other side and I met her up on the stairs. They were already walking up the stairs. And when I got behind her, she turned around and looked at me and I told her, "Come here." And I grabbed her and started fighting her.
What's going on, world? I'm Wesley from AK Nation TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connection that I want to adopt with you is for the love of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part dos. A lot of you guys are wondering where my first review was, and you know, it's been kind of crazy. It be like that sometimes, where just life just happens, and you know, I'm looking for a new place to live and, you know, work, and trying to stay on these interviews with Bad Girls Club and trying to do all this stuff. So it's been kind of complicated to really keep up with all of the freaking reviews, because I review like everything under the sun. But I definitely want to thank y'all for still wanting my reviews. I really do appreciate it. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe, and leave comments. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, but leave comments, okay? Because I read all your comments. But I want to get into this particular review because I just got finished watching it, right? So we jump into the Booze Cruise situation, where everybody was throwing bitch, oh bitch, girl, bitch, stop, bitch, what bitch, you bitch, you's a dumb bitch, you's a smart bitch, you's a pretty bitch, you's a oatmeal face bitch, you know, everybody's throwing around bitch. And you know, we get into the instance between Shamia and Kenya. Why wasn't Shamia on the show? Because Shamia on the reunion, because Shamia actually was one of the people, one of the catalysts for a lot of the beginning drama in like the first 5 episodes. So shout out to Shamia. You should at least have a half of the peach, Shamia. But we then get into, you know, how, you know, Kenya wanted to kick everybody off the boat. Okay, we need her off the boat, Captain. We need her off the boat, Captain. We need her off the boat. And then, you know, we jump from that to, you know, oh, so y'all best friends now, bitch? Or so whatever Portia said. And then the whole, you know, bitch word leading to Cynthia kicking the hell out of Portia to get off of her. Now, all these girls are playing the blame game. Oh, well, if you wouldn't have did this, and if you wouldn't have did that, or if you wouldn't have said this, and your hands was all up in my face, and I grabbed your hand, and when she grabbed my hand, I had to get up. And first of all, okay, we all grown. All these ladies are, first, let me just say this, disclaimer. Every single female on the show is beautiful. I just gotta say that. Because I don't think they understand. They are gorgeous. All of these females are gorgeous. Some of them need a little bit way too much makeup, or not even need, use way too much makeup. I don't know. But all of the females are beautiful, so I do want to say that, okay? Secondly, all of these females get into the blame game. Every single one of them do. And so here we go. Oh, you should have did this, you shouldn't have did this. First of all, not one of these older females should have put themselves in a situation to where it would escalate to a physical altercation. That's number one. If for whatever reason you feel disrespected because someone called you a bitch, and the 50th time that word was referenced or in use or placed in your direction, you want to take a real offense to it now, you should have been able to just articulate that at that particular moment. But you know, things happen when human beings take in too much alcohol. We do things that we normally wouldn't do, or say things that we normally would not say if we had a sober, calm mind. I'm a victim of that shit. All my drunk moments are crazy. You can't tell me, you know, oh, I need to be some sort of way when I'm drunk. So, but I mean, at this point, we're the sixth season. We're used to film. We're used to cameras. We know how things go. We know how these the girl trips go. So I would think in my mind, just be smart. But once you invade someone's space, you can't tell them how they should react to you. Period. Get the fuck out my face. There's no reason for you to get all up in my face, get all up in my space with all the hands and all the extra movements. There's no there's no reason. Get out of my face. Let me put this light up on me. Get out of my face. That's what I'm saying. And so, I understand why Cynthia grabbed her hand. Because Portia's finger was like this, but so was Cynthia's. So we're going to say, oh, you did this, you shouldn't have did that, you shouldn't have did this. And I'm like, both of you ladies cannot validate your actions, which led up to the kick. They both were wrong. They both were at fault. And I'm glad that Cynthia admitted that she was way overboard or reacted crazy, with this whole bitch thing. So I'm glad she did that. And then we moved past that. I got to grab my keyboard. We moved past that. Candy admitted that they actually told Portia to go speak to Cynthia, and she apologized for that because she actually told Portia to go talk. But whatever, talking is talking, and acting stupid is acting stupid. Someone calls Kenya out for all the 3 physical altercations, and her being involved or being the start of it all. And she says we're all adults, we should be able to control ourselves. I completely agree. On both fronts. Yes, Kenya was definitely around when all of the altercations started. Point blank, period. But at the same time, as adults, we need to be able to take responsibility for our actions. And there are certain females on this show that don't seem to want to do that when they definitely should. Kenya is one of them. Portia is one of them. And Phaedra is one of them. So we'll move past that. Andy mentions, the wig pull between Sheree and Kim, and when Kim thought that they were talking about her and not Zodiac, she was like, her face like, who are they talking about? The other Kim? I like Kim. She funny. She real funny. Kenya and Portia and Cynthia go back and forth with the blame game, yada yada yada. Okay, so we get into Kenya and the story with her mom. Only thing I have to say is, I don't know what it's like. Well, no, I do. Sorry. Had to really think about this for a second. I don't know what it's like, and I'm still saying it. I know what it's like to feel abandoned by your parent. My mother raised me by herself, and my father wasn't around, period. And so I get that. I felt that, I felt like I wasn't wanted. But I never had the experience that Kenya had in dealing with a parent, reaching out to the parent, and them not responding, or them responding in a way that Kenya's mother has. So for me, I don't understand what she's going through, but I can feel the emotion that she gives every time she talks about those situations. So I completely understand it. I at one point thought that maybe she wasn't trying to meet up with her because of the cameras, but Kenya has in the past tried to make things happen, and that's evident with the way Lori responded to her. And to this day, I still don't understand why Lori responded that way. Okay, so she's the sister, but it's a relationship between the mother and the daughter, period. So no one has a right to challenge that or to speak on that. And that's ultimately how I feel about that particular situation. Kenya says she has been loved all her life, and she does know what compassion is, but it's very hard to feel that from you, Kenya. And I'm talking to Kenya. I watch all the seasons, and from the way we see it and the way it's edited, you're painted that way, and your actions can't be painted unless you actually do the action. And so a lot of your words that you see in your post confessionals and a lot of the actions that you have paint you to be that. So Portia and Phaedra don't really have to do that much. They really don't. And I think she needs to take responsibility for how she paints herself. She's her own artist. You know what I'm saying? And I get why they don't see compassion from Kenya. I feel like you would get a read from Kenya before you receive compassion from Kenya. And we deal with Peter. Okay. We get to Peter and Cynthia's storyline. And the drama with him and his IG video that went viral. And Peter says he's in Charlotte, Cynthia's in Atlanta. I'm like, that's not really much of a marriage. How are we making this marriage work? It's none of my fucking business, because I don't want to fuck Peter, just like Cynthia doesn't want to fuck Peter. Or is not attracted to Peter with his clothes off. So it's none of my business, but it does. Once again, we painting. Because all these females paint the way we see their painting their picture at the end. So it's painting an ugly picture that the marriage is not going to last. I mean, you know, Cynthia was basically like, that's why they established divorce. That's why divorce was created. If we end up having to get a divorce, so be it. And I'm like, okay, well, shit, if she don't give a fuck, why should we give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's how I'm gathering it. But apparently they're fine. They're talking. They're making that coin. You know, he spends most of his time in Charlotte. How is he getting his nut off? And he referenced, you know, the men going away, you know, when they're deployed or whatever. And okay, fine. Is it possible for a man to stay away from their partner, whether male or female, and not interact with someone else? Yes, it's very much possible. But if you're dealing with a man that already has a reputation for being that type of way, the reputation stems from prior actions. Okay? So it's like, it's going back to saying you can't get something from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Something comes from something. So that rumor came from somewhere. So, you know, and it's all throughout Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. What I will say is, it is possible for Peter to not indulge while he's in Charlotte, but I would be shocked. I would not be shocked if it's found out that he has in fact been cheating, because all of the signs are there, and that's what I will say to that. It's either or is possible, but I would not be shocked if it was found out. Portia says, I know a lot about the marriage. Peter says, talk about it. Kenya jumps in and they go at it, and she says, if there's not a dick in your mouth, you don't know what you're saying. And I'm like, okay, really, Kenya? How does Matt's dick taste? I'm just saying, all y'all had dick in y'all mouth, so let's not even like reference that like it's something that you've never done or never will do. I get what she was trying to say, but that was just being low blow for low blow. And then, you know, Portia had to chime in with some dumbass comebacks talking about, oh, just tuck the dick in between your legs, bitch. That was just corny. I was like, Portia, really? You tried it, but you didn't come back. Cynthia apologized to Phaedra about bringing up rumors about her marriage, which was cool, touche, because now you're going through all the issues. So it's only befitting that you do that. Andy asks some great questions, because Andy and Nina Parker are great hosts for these reunions and these type of shows that they have going on. So I'm all here for Andy. Andy asked the question, if Cynthia left the show, do you think that you guys would still be married? My answer to that is no. I don't think so. And I don't really know Cynthia. I don't. So I'm only going off of what I see on the show, so this is not like a personal attack. But I think one of the reasons for them staying together is so that she can be on the show. And this show has definitely given her an opportunity to make more money, do more things. So I think, you know how a lot of us, well, you guys probably don't know, but there are a lot of business arrangements in these celebrity relationships and situations and marriages. And this could subconsciously, indirectly be a business arrangement. Maybe they did sit down and was like, okay, well, if we're going to do this, let's do this, let's make this money. Which kind of could be their reasoning for him being where he is and her being where she is. Maybe they've decided that maybe it's not going to work out. But in order to keep this show going, in order to keep these businesses afloat, let's stay on the show and work it out. Who knows? Anything is possible. And I wouldn't be shocked if that had been the case or that was the case. Aiden comes in and hosts the show. I'm like, oh, look a little Apollo, because he just looks like Apollo. Then we get into Phaedra's storyline. She says the boys were excited to see Apollo in prison. And she said there were things going on in the prison that took place that she was very uncomfortable with. And after an hour, the boys were ready to go, but they couldn't leave because they could only leave at certain times, specified times. So she wants everybody to stay the fuck out her business. And I'm here for it. If y'all aren't paying bills or doing anything financially to contribute to the way that she should live her life, then stay the fuck out of it with your opinion and just let her live her life and either be entertained by what you watch or fast forward when you don't want to see her. I don't know. But I was here for her saying that, you know, people shouldn't have an opinion if they're not giving any anything to the situation, and that's really much how it should be. And then she mentions thanking Greg and Chris for being there for the boys, and she says no other man has been there for the boys. And I'm thinking to myself, what other men are left? Todd, Peter, when you've had crazy situations with their wives, why would they want to be involved? And Kenya doesn't have a man, but you and Kenya never got along, so why would Kenya's man want to be involved in your kid's life? I just, like, why are you expecting them to do that? I wouldn't understand. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. Candy and Phaedra goes back and forth and says no one has cared or helped her with her kids, and, yeah, that part. Cynthia says, we weren't in a good space, but now we are, and I'm here if you need me. Phaedra cries, talking about Aiden, and it was an emotional moment. I was like, I'll vibe with her. And then we get to the ladies in Miami. Okay, I'm going to read this right quick. There's a difference between information and instigation, thanks to Ms. Kim. Phaedra comparing Glenn to Mike Brown wasn't the same situation. They say Kenya was made the scapegoat. The ladies say they didn't feel threatened. Kenya says, I went to Tammy to ask the nephew to leave. Sheree says, let's be clear, who invited him to the house? And Phaedra says, you like the boy, and Kenya says, no, I didn't. Okay, this is a whole lot. There's a lot going on. Bottom line. Kenya is always the beginning of something escalating. Seems to be, that's been the formula. Let's get that clear. Whether or not Kenya is my favorite or not has nothing to do with the fact. Let's get that clear. Now, as grown adults, we have the mature responsibility, period, to figure out how we're going to react to the shit that has escalated or has started and has, prompted itself to be a negative, it positions itself to be a negative situation. So, did Kenya stir up the hornet's nest, Kim? Yes, I think she did. When I feel like Kenya has the ability to leave well enough alone, but she never leaves well enough alone. And at that time, at any given situation, when you don't leave well enough alone, you can't expect someone to react to a situation the way that you want them to. And you can't control them. So at the end of the day, if you don't want something negative to come out of a situation, don't put yourself in a situation that could possibly be negative. Kenya wanted these boys to come, or especially that boy to come. She was definitely highly flirting with that boy. Let's make that clear. I don't know why she's trying to make it seem like she wasn't, but you invited the boys there. You were attracted to the boy. The boy didn't give you anything worth of your life, and so you felt some sort of way. And in feeling some sort of way, shit happened the way that it did. The boy was definitely in the wrong, point blank period. And I thought the boy was off and would have never invited him to the house. I thought he was off. When he snapped at her on the boat, I thought he was off. So the boy should have been asked to leave when we got off the boat and fucking at the house. But he wasn't asked to leave. We kept him around. The boy was crazy. You could tell. All the footage, you could tell the boy was crazy. I don't know why these ladies didn't feel threatened or whatever the case may be, but it's people like this that always end up painting a bad picture of black people as a whole, period. He was not Mike Brown. Let's get that clear. I don't know why Phaedra said that, but at the end of the day, I think she probably knew what the image was going to portray when all the cameras were there. But the image only portrayed what he fucking gave America to see. And so for my thing, if we don't want blacks to continue to be looked at a certain way, we gotta fucking take accountability and not act like that stereotype. You know what I'm saying? And we can go on World Star Hip Hop right now and see a fucking black people acting fucking stupid over he said, she said on Facebook and over rumors and all this dumb shit, but we don't want the white man to see us. You know what I'm saying? It's like we put ourselves in this situation all of the time. So Glenn needed to take responsibility for his fucking actions and just and you know what would have been amazing? What would have been amazing is if Glenn spoke to Kenya in a manner as to make her feel like she's being delicious, because Kenya was vying for his attention and he was not having it. When he spazzed out on her, he didn't have to come at her the way that he did on the boat, but all he had to do was present himself to be smarter than the way he did present himself at the end of the day. He could have said, you know what, Kenya, you are a beautiful female, but for some reason you are wanting something that I cannot give you, so I'm going to do you a favor. I'm gonna do you one solid. Stop. Because I'm not interested in you. I do not want you. I think you're beautiful, but I'm not your type, or you're not my type. So let's not continue the way that we're going right now, because this is not making no sense. I mean, how old are we? And I tell you no lie. He would have had all of America being like, okay, and his tank top tattoos and all. You know, but no, he wanted to act a fool and make America believe how foolish we can be, like further that already strengthened stereotype. Okay? So I wasn't here for Glenn. I really wasn't. But Kenya, just like I said, Glenn could have, you know, presented himself differently. Kenya could have as well. Instead of feeling like the damsel in distress, if she really had an issue, she could have approached security and been like, look, I feel threatened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all think about it, but I can't wait to see the men come on the third part, because it's going to be Chrissy versus Matt, and Matt is giving all man up in this. Where did Chrissy come from? Come on, Chris. I like Kim and Chris. I really do. I like Todd and Phaedra, and Greg and Nene compliment each other, so it is what it is. But I damn for sure, y'all know I love me some Matt and Kenya together. So I'm glad she finally got a man. She need to keep him for the next season, because it's Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm Wesley from AK Nation TV, the network. Let me know what you guys thought about this particular review. Leave your comments below. Deuces.
Extra things.
Okay. So this is completely like your site. Like it's not ran through a third party.
No.
This is your site, launched by you.
It's launched by me, created by me.
And you have actual
Break legs in the